Hi everyone, welcome back to the Studio Katia YouTube channel. It's Erica with you today, and we're gonna have a look at some of the new Easter release stuff, and then also there's going to be some card making. Now in this release, and bear in mind I don't actually have everything, there is a couple of beautiful flower sets. They also have coordinating dies, which unfortunately I don't have, so I won't be able to show you those. But first off, we have the daisy bunch, and it's a beautiful daisy bunch or bunch of daisies, as the name kind of suggests. I mean, it would be kind of crazy if it was like crocodiles, right? So you also have some very versatile and also kind of generic sentiments like happy birthday, dear mama, here for you, wishing you a happy day, you're on my mind, and hello. And then with the sunshine of hope, which is a beautiful sunflower, we have some things like prayers your way, and there's a little sending, there's a big sending, there's hope, so you can say sending hope, sending prayers, here for you and thinking of you, etc. So the good thing with this stamp set is a very special stamp set actually. $5 of each set sold on the Studio Katia shop will go towards relief work in the Ukraine, so you can treat yourself and do good at the same time. And we like that. We like using our superpower of card making for good. So do that, yes. I will link everything down below as well, so it will be easy peasy for you to find. And in the release there is also Kobe's Mini Easter. This little cutie pie also has a die, which unfortunately I don't have, but I will be adding myself as well for sure. And then for those of you who really like making Easter themed cards, we have a beautiful stained glass cross. So this I'm thinking will be super cool to kind of do either like paper piercing or with like Nuvo drops or something, or maybe even embossing powder, heated, melted, to give that really sort of stained glass look. This would look super cool. Imagine on heated resistant vellum and adding colored or like even glitter embossing powder. I'm getting all giddy just thinking about it. I will definitely have to try that because, ooh. Okay, calm down. I know. We also have Spring Pastels Polka Dots Slimline. So these are 9 by 4 inches and will fit all of the Slimline dies in the shop. So you also get, you get 12 different colors and 2 of each sheets as well. So you don't have to scrimp and save and think if you miss up one, you are out of luck because there is a backup. So we like that. There's also a few new pearls. I know, I always get excited about the bling. I mean, I'm never ever gonna run out because I am hoarding, but I'm also using. So you get a very decent, it's not a serving size, is it? But you know, you get a decent amount of pearls in each packet as well. So we have satin lemon, satin aqua, satin leaf, and also there is a rainbow mix. Now something else that I really like is the little collapsible bowl. It's hard and it's mint, and it squeezes flat for like if you need to put it in your drawers or whatever, or even like just pour out your little pearls and embellishments in there. So this is, yeah, it's just nice to touch it because it's like that nice silicone-y tactile feel. Really like that. But with the cards today that we're going to be looking at, we're going to have a closer look at these two. And of course, you know, they're all made with Ukraine colors for Ukraine card drive, not card drive, block hop. So there's lots of companies that are getting together, offering different products that will, well, the proceeds will help and go towards relief work in the Ukraine. So you're not going to want to miss out on that either. I will link the blog stop in the description box down below as well. So you can hop on there, you'll see projects from the design team here, and then you'll hop on to the next shop, you'll see design projects from there, the projects that are listed in each blog hop. I'm assuming they will all go to relief. So yes, don't forget to check that out. But that is it for this part. So we are going to hop on over, or go down rather, to the desk, and we are going to get card making. So this is the stamps that we're going to be using today, the Sunshine of Hope stamps. And we are specifically, first of all, going to be using the big sunflower because, you know, flowers. So what we're going to be doing today is some ink smooshing, and we are going to be heat embossing the flower in black ink onto watercolor cardstock. But before we do that, we are going to treat it with the Cottontail embossing powder tool from the Rabbit Hole design. So this is a brand new type of like anti-static tool, and so it contains kaolin clay rather than like baby powder. So I found that this works really well, and it's just, yeah, it's such a help when it comes to heat embossing. But what we're going to be doing is, as I said, we're going to be stamping this up with black ink, and I'm using my poor broken little Misty magnets to hold my cardstock in place. And then I'm stamping this up 3 times with the detailed blackout ink from Ink on 3 to make sure I have a really solid black. Then I'm taking what I'm calling my dirty Wow embossing ink pad. So this one I use whenever I need to stamp over like black or colored ink. So instead of dirtying up my clear white one that I use for white and clear embossing powder, I use this one. So we have sprinkled this with clear embossing powder, and then we're going to just be setting down with the heat tool. And again, let's just take a sec to like admire the magic that is heat embossing. It just never gets old, does it? But I'm having a little bit of issue with like flickering on my videos, and I apologize about that. I don't know how to solve it just at this very moment, but I'm working on it, I promise. But as you can see, it's nice and shiny, and all the details are just perfect. But as I said, we're going to be doing some ink smooshing, and we're going to be doing it in the Ukraine colors, of course. So we have the peacock blue and bee sting yellow. So I'm going to be just dabbing some ink on my work surface here, and then we're going to be spritzing it with water to activate, and then we're going to dab that panel into the yumminess. And it did turn a little bit green there as well, but you know, it is what it is. So it's kind of magic to look at the ink just playing around as well, and like reacting and happening. And I just couldn't bring myself to just clean this up, so I actually got out another couple of panels to like just basically mop up that ink. And look at that. I mean, this is going to look fantastic once it's dried. And here I did decide to add in a little bit more ink because obviously I didn't have enough already, but it just needed a little bit more yellow. So we are going to pick up the rest of that blue, and then we are going to just finish these off into actual cards as well. And it was at this moment that Erica realized that she didn't have enough blue, really. No matter how much I dabbed, it just wasn't enough. So I decided to clean that off, all of that ink, and just get the blue out again. Just the blue on its own without any sort of color contamination. So a little spritz of the water, and then in that panel goes, get some more blue on there, and just watch that magic happen. So these are going to be set aside to dry for a little bit, and then we're going to come off and finish them with some sentiments and obviously some bling-a-ling-a-ling, because, you know, it has to be done. So this one, first of all, is going to be trimmed down because it's not big enough to be a full-size slimline, and it's also not, but it's too big to be a mini slimline. So we're going to chop this down a little bit and just kind of make sure that there's mostly color on it. And then I thought at first I was going to stamp a sentiment in black, but then I thought, well, the flower is black, so maybe do white heat embossing instead. So I decided to go with sending prayers your way, and we are going to get our little Cottontail embossing powder tool out first before we do anything else. I mean, well, okay, so we're gonna pick those up, and then we're going to use our tool on that area there to make sure that no stray bits go out, because obviously this is the white, we're going to be using white embossing powder, so we don't want it to cover up too much. Whereas like with the clear, it doesn't matter too much, I guess. So, and here you can see, this is my clean powder, ink pad. This is the one I use when I use clear and white embossing powder. And we're going to be using opaque, bright white, super fine, because the letters are kind of tiny in the sentiment. So when you want to get really fine details, you use the super fine one. And yes, I have a mega big tub of it because I go through a lot. And then we're just going to set this with our heat tool, and then this is going to be added onto a card base. But that is how it looks. So that came out really well. I feel like it didn't really need anything else on top of that. So we're just going to leave it as it is. No bling, I know, right? But this one, we're going to go with Thinking of You. And it's almost like the Ukrainian flag there with the blue at the top and the yellow at the bottom. And this one did get a little bit of bling just to kind of frame the sentiment of Thinking of You. So I probably used a few too many, but I thought, you know what? Bling is good. So, and I have a lot. So we're going to use them. And I used the satin lemon for the yellow and then the satin aqua for the blue parts. And once those were glued down, I used the embellishment wand and the liquid glue from Studio Katia. The cards were done. They just need card bases and then off they can go. So super, super easy. And ink smooshing is always a win because you're never ever going to get exactly the same 2 panels. So every single card is going to be unique, even if you use the same supplies over and over again. So I am about to leave you, but I just wanted to show a last few little close-ups and remind you again that the hop starts on Thursday, the 31st of March. Now, don't forget to subscribe to the Studio Katia YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. Hit that thumbs up button and I will see you soon again. Bye for now.